Good day to you, gentle person on the internet, and thank you for joining me as we have a look at Dynamine. This is a Minesweeper variant, and the music has also gone a little bit strange, but still, we'll forge ahead. I like Minesweeper. I think it is a very good game, a very sort of fundamental gameplay experience with a very enjoyable kind of puzzle game dynamic, the mechanism. And this game has adopted it well into kind of an almost RPG-ish mining game. So yeah, let's jump in, let's have a look at the gameplay, and we can give it a little bit of critique afterwards. So let's hit start game. Right, the earth beneath us hides riches just a few meters below the ground we walk on. The mining company is just waiting for you to bring them to the surface. Maybe one day you'll get a share of the profits. That is, if you don't stumble upon explosives left behind from previous excavations. Now, the previous excavations seem to have left a lot of explosives behind, hence, the Minesweeper mechanics. Nevertheless, we will forge ahead and manage. So, the first button we can click on here is below the surface. I don't know if this means that there are different levels that we can then play lower down. But let's click below the surface and see how it works. Okay, Minesweeper mechanics. The numbers on the ground tell you how many explosives are in the 8 surrounding cells. Dig a cell to reveal its content. It may be empty, contain ores, or contain an explosive. Flag cells to avoid digging explosives. If you dig an explosive cell, it's game over. So, this is us. We have come down this elevator here. In the elevator, if we press space, we can sell stuff that we found. We can buy this bucket of paint, which I think is I suspect is a single-use mechanism to reveal, neighboring explosive cells, bomb cells, for when you're kind of stuck and you can't tell which of the cells are the actual bomb ones. It's quite nice, but it costs a hell of a lot, just under 500 euros apparently. And then we have the upgrades tree, which is going to start at 20 euros, then goes up fairly quickly, and we unlock upgrades, and these have multiple levels and things like that. So yes, there is a lot we can do there once we have some money. How do we get money? Well, we get money by mining ores. Over here we have, this is stone, but it counts as an ore. So if we mine the stone, we get +1 stone, and there's a big chunk over here which we can mine twice, in fact. So mine there, get another stone, and we get some more stone. And now if we press tab, we see we have an inventory. This is what's in our backpack, and we have an inventory capacity. So once we hit 20 items, it'll tell us that our inventory is full. We have to come back and sell things, and yeah, we do get upgrades that increase our capacity. We have tools here. We don't have any of those just yet, so we'll see what fills those eventually. So yeah, if we come back here, we see we now have 3 stones that we can either sell individually, sell just the stone all 3, or sell all of our inventory all 3. Now we now have 3 euros, but we can't buy anything with those 3 euros, so it's back to mining. But now we have the Minesweeper mechanic, because you see we can mine this block of dirt, but there are the numbers on the ground over here. You can see there's 3 ones, which means, for those of you who don't know Minesweeper, it means if this block says 1, then all of the blocks around it, somewhere in these blocks, there is 1 bomb. Now, the only blocks that we haven't mined around this one over here that I'm standing on is this one. So we know, if we right-click it, that there is a bomb in there, so we mustn't mine that. And then the logic kicks in. So we see this one says 1, which again, so all of these blocks around here, and this block must have only 1 bomb in it, because there is only 1 bomb in the 8 blocks surrounding this block that I'm standing on. Which means if we know that this is the bomb, because we were told that by these other numbers, 1 numbers, then this cannot be a bomb. Because this block can only see 1 bomb, and this block can only see 1, and this block can only see 1. So this must not be a bomb. So we can then left click dig it, and we pick up 1 dirt, but unfortunately we can't sell dirt. Dirt fills up our inventory, and we have to kind of quote unquote sell it for €0 over there, but that is the way it works. Right, so we continue with our logic. See, this block that I'm standing on here says there's 2 bombs around it, so we know that is 1 bomb, but it does mean that in any of these 3 there must be a bomb in it. And likewise, this one says 2, so according to this block, any of these 3 must have at least 1 bomb inside it. But we don't know which of the 3 has the bomb in it, so we can't move ahead because of those 2. This one says there's only 1 bomb that it can see in the blocks around it, which means, because it can see this bomb, it's one of the 8 blocks that it can see, this cannot be a bomb. Oh, nice, I unlocked a bunch of stuff. I was going to say this can't be a bomb because it's also close to this one, but sometimes it clears lots of empty blocks for us, although these blocks are technically not empty because they have ores in them, and some quite pricey ores as well, which is nice to see. This one, was this a single ore thing? Oh, it was. Alright, I think this is some tin or something like that. Yep, two levels of tin. Nice. Alright, so now we can tell, because this one says 2, that's the 1 bomb, and this is the other one, so that must be a bomb. And this one says 1, so that means this cannot be a bomb. And this one says 2, but there's 1 and 2 bombs that we've identified around it, so it means this cannot be a bomb. And this one says 1, but this is definitely a bomb, so this cannot be a bomb. Oh, there's some rock in there, some stone. 2 layers of stone. How's our inventory doing? We're at 12 out of 20. We've got some nice things to sell there. Right, so these don't really help us very much. Alright, so we know this is a bomb because this one over here says that it can only see 1 bomb, which has to be that. And we know this is not a bomb. And we know that this is not a bomb. And this is not a bomb. And this one is not a bomb. Clearing quite a bit out here. Hey, nice big area opened up. I love it when that happens in Minesweeper in general. So in this game it's particularly satisfying. So this must be a bomb. Alright, so we can start mining some stuff out here. Make some money. I think I must be close to being full right now. So let's see. Yeah, 18 out of 20. No. Ugh. I've full screened it, so let's send it back to full screen. I pressed escape when I didn't want to press escape. Alright, so we're going here. We're going to, no, I didn't want to open inventory. We're going to sell things. Right, 95 euros. That was a nice chunk of things that we found. We've got even more we can go and mine now. What we can do is we can get our first upgrade. We can get a stone pickaxe. So we can increase our pickaxe damage, which I'm assuming is 2 at the moment. We can increase it to 3. Now, to increase it to 4, we have to pay 149 euros, but we only have 78. But there are other upgrades we can get here. Why is this stupid thing? We can get us a pouch to increase our capacity, add 5 inventory items to it. That's also 149. I was worried that all upgrades would just cost the same amount, no matter what we bought, it would just make it go up. But that does not appear to be the case, because I bought this and these were all different prices, so that's fine. Alright, so we have done that. Let's mine the things that we've cleared for now, shall we? Some nice tin there. There's some stone up here. There's some more stone over here. Oh, double stone. I think this is copper, something like that. Yes. More copper. Oh no, that's iron. Yeah, we are in the money. But then with the amounts that the upgrades charge us, we're not really that in the money. Alright, we've got a chunk of cash here. How's our inventory doing? We're on 12. We can do a bit of mining before we head back. So this is clearly a bomb. This is clearly a bomb. This is clearly a bomb. This is clearly not a bomb. So we can mine this lad out. Oh, and we got some more stone behind it. And this is clearly not a bomb, which means that this one has to be, I think. Yeah, because of this one here. And this one has to be because of these twos over here, which means that this one cannot be, which means that because of this two here, this one must be. This is clearly a bomb, and this is clearly a bomb, which means that this one cannot be. Oh, and we got some coal, and I think we need to go back and sell things now. So our inventory must be pretty full. Yep, 19 out of 20. Let's go sell this stuff. Yeah, you must be a bomb. Selling. Sell ore. Ooh, 195. Look at that nice chunk we got for the raw iron that we found. What is the most expensive thing? Okay, tin is still the priciest. Followed by iron. Alright. Right, so now we can get some more upgrades. We can increase our pouch capacity. And what have we unlocked? We've unlocked a compass, which will point us back towards the elevator if we ever get lost. We have unlocked a railway kit, which allows us to start placing rails, which suggests quite strongly just how far the map actually goes. And we also have an excavator. Place your cursor on a number and dig to reveal all adjacent tiles if all explosives have been marked. Okay, that costs 5,000 euros, so that's quite pricey. I'm not quite sure how that's going to work. It'd be nice if I make it to there. We also have Speleologist, which we can't unlock yet because we have to go through railway kit, so that's quite far away. Comfortable tool handle increases your mining speed by 10, but that's the other side of the excavator, so that's going to be very expensive. So yeah, so we've got a lot of upgrades that we can work our way towards. Now sticking close to the elevator, this is clearly something we can mine. And that one can see too, so we can mine this, and I think we can mine this as well. I'm less clear about this one. I think that might be a bomb, but I'm not sure. Alright, so if that's a bomb, we can mine this. And we can mine this. And this one is, you can see, two bombs, so we can mine this. Which means that this has to be a bomb. Which means we can probably mine this. Which means that this has to be a bomb. And you can see 3, so we can mine you. And we can mine you. Alright, so you can see 2, so you must be a bomb. You can see 3, so you must be a bomb. You can see 3, so you must be a bomb. Like, what were they doing over here? Why line up explosives like this? It's weird. You can see 3, and that's 1, 2, and 3, so you must not be a bomb. And you must not be a bomb. There we go. You must be a bomb. Which means you must not be a bomb. Which means that you must be a bomb. Alright, let's get this stone. And we have some... Are you tin? Yes, nice. Nice tin. How are we doing capacity wise? Halfway, well, beyond halfway, but still. Alright. You can see 2, so you must be a bomb. You can see 1, so you must be a bomb. Alright, so you must be a bomb. So you must not be a bomb. And you must not be a bomb. So you must be a bomb. But you must not be a bomb. And you can see 3. So you must be a bomb. And if you can see 3, that means that you guys cannot be bombs. Oh, stone. Nice. I mean, it's money. It's the least of the monies, but it's money. Do you say 5? Alright, well, you must not be a bomb. Why are you a bomb? Is that a 5 or a 3? Maybe that was a 5. Maybe I just misread that. Anyway, so we died, which is what happens, but it is a roguelite, so we keep the stuff we have purchased in our upgrades. We keep our money, 124 euros. Unfortunately, I think we lose the stuff in our inventory, but we can start the game again. The new run, we have a high score and all of that kind of stuff. And we start back down here, but we have our upgrades with it. You can see the map building itself in the background as it resolves. Yeah, and we start the process again. So you guys must be bombs. You cannot be a bomb. You must be a bomb. Did I read that 3 as a 5 previously? I can only assume I did. I mean that 5 is a 3. That is one, I suppose there's a critique there, is that sometimes these numbers are not easily readable. It would be nice if we could read them just a little bit better. For example, I mean, I can barely see what this is. I think this is a 4, because it doesn't look like a 1, but it is just kind of a blur. So yeah, a little bit more clarity on the numbers would be nice. Also, I can't walk through the sign here, which is quite annoying, especially when there's a bomb next to it here. Which I think means I can successfully, safely mine this out. You can see 2, which means this cannot be a bomb. Alright, yeah, we lose everything in our inventory. So I suppose sell early, sell often, just in case. You can also see 2, so you can't be a bomb. Alright. You have to be a bomb. You guys cannot be bombs. Hey, nice. I love it when you open up areas like that. You almost wish the game could be designed to make that reveal kind of more common, because it is a fun element. So you must be a bomb. You cannot be a bomb. You cannot be a bomb. You must be a bomb, which means you cannot be a bomb. Which means that you guys can't be bombs. Nice. You must be a bomb, which means that you cannot be a bomb. Which means that you guys can't be bombs. So you must be a bomb, which means you can't be. You can't be. You can't be. So you must be one, annoyingly, which means you can't be. You can't be. Oh, inventory full. Alright, well, I don't think we're going to get much for the selling. 26, not bad. 150, I don't think we can. Oh, we can get a slightly faster damaging pickaxe. So it's 300 for the next one. Still the cheapest of our options, 350 that is. Oh no, 300 for a bigger inventory. So that's what we're working towards next. Talking of which, here is some stuff we can mine that I just ignored. Alright, so you can't be a bomb. You must be a bomb. See, that's a 4. I instinctively read that as 1, and that's bad because that is not a 1. It is a 4. We can mine down here. I think that means you can't be 1, and you can't be 1. Now you hit these flat walls because you can't tell which of the ones here are in fact the bombs, and that gets quite frustrating. But that is the way the game works. So you just have to go mine somewhere else. Hope that you can figure out kind of from further down if there is a way to spot. I mean, like this here, we can tell that this isn't 1. We can tell that this isn't 1. But now we can't tell which of these might be 1. Okay, this must be 1, which means that this is not 1, and this is not 1. Hey! Nice. You must be 1, which means you cannot be 1. Oh, see that? Is that a 1 or is it a 3? I cannot tell. Alright, you must be 1. Which means that you... So this must be a 1 over here because you cannot be 1. Oh, nice chunk of stone. Nice. Alright, so let's sell all these before we get in trouble. Nice. So you can see 2, so you must be 1. You can see 3, which means you cannot be 1. It gets tricky, you know? Tricky. Alright, well, let's keep working around here. You must be 1. So which means you can't be 1. You can't be 1. You can't be 1. So you can see 2, so you have to be 1. So you can't be 1. You can't be... No, you can't be 1. You must be 1. So you can't be 1. You can see 2, so you have to be 1. Which means you can't be 1. Oh! Nice. Alright, so you must be 1, which means you guys can't be. You can see 2, which means that you must be 1, which means that you can't be 1, means that you can't be 1, you can't be 1. You must be 1 because you can see 3. Which means that you can't be 1. You can't be 1. Means that you must be 1. You can't be 1. Okay, so you can't be 1, and then this line down here can't be 1 because you guys can all see 2 already. Oh, nice. Oh, inventory full. That's 55. What am I waiting for? 300. Yeah, so the game does seem to slow down a bit at this point. You must be one. Which means that you can't be one. 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 Ooh, what have we got here? Some stone and a silver ingot, and now a thing that we can't walk through. That's very annoying. Alright, you have to be one. Now I'm assuming this doesn't count as a bomb or anything like that. So this 2 is a sign that this is 1 here. I can only assume that that is the case. You must be 1. You must be 1. You can't be 1. Alright, but you must be 1. And you can't be 1. So you guys must both be 1s. You can't be 1. And you can't be 1. I'm going to go and sell the stuff that I picked up before I lose it. What do I get for my silver ingot? 165. Nice. Alright, 279. We still can't get to our next upgrade. Now I would call that slightly concerning, because if you find a big find like that for the first time, this chest, it should be enough to get you an upgrade, at least the first time you do it. I mean, I know we're very close, and it's kind of it's a level of chance that is tricky to balance, but I would still have a look at the mechanisms and see if we can work around that. What we can do here at the moment is open some of this out, because we can see 2 here, so you must be 1, and we can see 3 here, which means you can't be 1. Is that all we can do there? Looks like it. Except you can see 2, which means you can't be 1, and you can't be 1. You can't be 1. Oh, nice. But you must be 1, because you can see 2. Which means we can chop you guys out here. Oh, nice. Might be able to get our next upgrade after this little bit. Okay, so you have to be 1, and you can't be 1. You can see 4, I think, so you must be 1, which means if you can see 3, you can't be 1, and you must be 1, and you can't be 1. And we can punch a hole in here, because you can only see 1, so you must be 1. Alright, let's sell this stuff off. 105, nice. I wish this, I don't know what I've done to make these tooltips pop up on whatever's selected. Need to be able to look at the other things. Alright, I think I need to start wrapping up here, because this is going to be one of those games where it just keeps going and going and going, and you can end up with a lot of, you know, just this never-ending progression that I'm going to keep you guys here just looking at for ages. Oh, this can be one. So, if you are just here for the gameplay, thank you for watching. I do sometimes show a little bit more gameplay where I'm giving critiques, but yeah, I will try and just keep the critiques nice and short and things like that, but I do feel compelled to put them in because of the devs who watch this, who want to learn a bit more about, I don't know, sort of outside opinions of games to see whether it applies to their own games. So yeah, if you are just here for the gameplay, thank you for watching. Don't forget to like or dislike if you like or dislike the video. If you like or dislike the game, go and tell the game dev. The link is in the description. Come and play this game, give the dev some love. I don't want to take credit for their work. But if you liked or disliked the video, then hit that like or dislike button here on YouTube, please, and leave a comment telling me why you liked it or disliked it so I can get better at making videos. Even if you want to tell me that my voice is boring or that the sound is weird or something, I don't know, just, you know, give me some feedback so I know what to focus on, what I need to improve as a priority going forwards. Yeah, and if you do like it and you want to see more indie games reviewed, just hit that subscribe button, because I do an indie game a day, and I think that's a fairly good flow of little bits of entertainment for people. So yeah, if you want to see something fun to play, even if it's just for a few minutes or half an hour or something, hit the subscribe button, because I'll try and give you something decent every day, and I will show you a little bit of how to play it so you can judge for yourself whether or not it is decent. So yeah, so that's my little pitch. Yeah, if you're heading out, thank you for watching. Don't forget to give the devs some love. If, however, you are here to see the critiques, or at least you're vaguely interested in the critiques, well, starting at the beginning, first of all, the UI, I don't like the fact that escape brings us all the way back down to here to this tiny view. But yeah, the options page is fantastic. I mean, look at this. You've got game options where you can change the things. You've got video settings with the VSync and quality and shadows and things like that. You've got the keyboard controls that I think you can change, and you have two options for them. I mean, this is a fantastic menu set. I mean, this earns all the bonus points, because this is incredible. You can change colors for accessibility, audio settings, the quality of life controls that I like to see, where you can change all the music and special effects and things like that. I mean, this is, if you want an archetypical options page that every game dev should strive for, I think this is pretty high on that kind of ranking. I've only seen better ones than this on like the hectic AAA games where they let you change everything. This is a pretty close approach to that. So yeah, if you guys are looking for a dev to join the team or something like that, get this guy and put him in charge of options, because holy moly, this is good. Tutorial, on the other hand, I mean, it was big lumps of text, really. It didn't take us too much into it. I would have liked a more specific tutorial where you start in a little training space, and it kind of teaches you how to click on the block, how the numbers work, or the Minesweeper rules, as it were. You just mine a little bit out and earn a little bit of money, and that gets you then through to unlocking the first real level, which would be like this kind of level. So yeah, so that would be my recommendation there. Just make a little more focused, a little more intense tutorial that teaches the player how the game rules work, how Minesweeper works. Because remember, you can get players coming in here who have never played Minesweeper in their life before, you know, and they're not going to understand this very well. I remember my first attempt at playing Minesweeper. I didn't understand it at all, and that was the simple Minesweeper game, until, you know, the numbers and all that kind of thing clicked in my head. So this is a lot more complex than that. So yeah, don't assume that your players know Minesweeper. Don't assume that they know what's going on. Teach them from the beginning. You know, really hold their hands, really guide them in, because your game is on a browser. It's 2 clicks away for anybody who just happens to get to your page. You know, assume that non-gamers are going to be looking for a game to play. I think, oh, a mining game, that sounds interesting. People love those, right? Get in here and are horribly bewildered and confused and go, oh no, gaming's not for me because it's all confusing. That's the last thing we want. So yeah, so teach people how to play your game. Because this is a really good game, and I would like to see more people playing it. So really, I heartily recommend a better tutorial coming in. That should be a focus. Yeah, so that's enough about the UI stuff. The sounds are a little bit muted. I would like a little bit more on the sounds kind of things, because if you dig, for example, I think this is safe to dig. The digging's not bad, but it's not great. And the flagging I can barely hear over the music. So the flagging would be nice if it was like kind of the sound, sort of a cartoony sound, as if you are sticking a flag in something. So sort of a thunk noise. Yeah, as if you have a pole and you're sticking into, I don't know, some mud or something like that, and it just goes thunk. That would be a good noise to show that you are it's like a satisfying noise. You have done something. You have flagged a danger. The digging's not bad. But that I wish was the thunk, and the noise of actually exploding when you mine something. Let's mine this. Again, I would like that a bit bassier, a bit sort of deeper, a bit more of a sort of a whoom noise. Because you've detonated an explosive, so really make the, it's a rare noise. It's not going to happen often. Put some focus on it and make it sort of kind of satisfying in a way. Like you're annoyed that you hit an explosive, whatever, but just make the player go, oh, that was a boom noise. That was intense. I've just spotted something. If this is a bomb. Oh no, because that was that one. Alright, never mind. I thought I'd found a bug in the numbers there for a moment, but I was forgetting that had just been exploded. Also, that should be like orangey red things if there was an explosion there that had made the ground glow. It shouldn't just be the sort of the squelch. I would change that. Which I suppose brings us to the art. I think I've spoken enough about the sound. So the art, I don't like the way the UI looks and things like that it's absolutely stunning. I don't like the flagging symbol. I don't like this. I think just a red flag like in Minesweeper or something like that would be nicer, or like a dynamite symbol or something like that. I don't think this does this game justice. You can see through, so that's a line of explosives there. Yeah, I don't like it. It doesn't. The rest of the graphics are. I mean, this is quite nicely, finely detailed and things like that. All these rocks and stuff. Oh, we get to open another chest right away. Oh, it's empty. Rude. All right. Yeah, I think everything else looks really, really nice. I like our little character. He's a beaver, a fox. I'm not sure. I mean, he looks like a fox to me. But just everything else looks quite nice. I think that the numbers could be a little bit easier to read, a little bit better defined. But I really do not like this flag symbol. I think that is letting everything else down. Art-wise, but otherwise the game is good looking. Why are we a fox boy? What is this? What is the design? I think we talked about that a little bit in the immersion thing. Oh, this is water down here. So I'm assuming we can't cross, we can't mine, we can't flag. Actually, there's a lot more going on here than I've seen in this game before. I like the water, I like things like that. I mean, yeah. See, all this looks, I mean, the water is nice and precisely defined, and the rocks and things like that. So make the numbers a little clearer, and give a bit more depth and detail to this kind of explosives flag symbol. I think that would be my recommendations there. Gameplay, look, the gameplay is fine. You've got the Minesweeper mechanics that people love. You've got the mining, which people love. I cannot really think much about the gameplay. Maybe a little bit more caution on the upgrade menu, because it does seem to does seem to jump quite severely, and I don't spend quite as much time in here buying things as I would have liked. I'm not sure. I mean, this is very difficult to balance. So you need a lot of logic and things in here to actually help people, upgrade and things like that. And I think it is something that needs a lot of attention, because that is quite a satisfying thing for players to do, is buy those little upgrades and stuff. There's a fair bit of dopamine in there that players like. So it is an effort that is well recommended to balance that well, to make it comfortable, while having as many upgrades as you can, because it is a dopamine flow for people to buy those upgrades. Yeah, so in summary, good luck with that, but it is something I think needs a look at. But otherwise, yeah, the gameplay is fantastic. Which brings us really to just our final immersion thing, and then always the question is what is going on? Why are we this little fox character? Was it just an available asset that you like the look of, or is there a storyline behind here? Let's venture the itch.io page just to see if there's anything in here. I mean, I'm not seeing anything. I don't know if this is a character from a different franchise of yours. So why is the itch.io thing here? You have to kind of do it through the video options to get the full screen. No man. Yeah, who is this guy, and who is the company that you're working for, and what is the storyline, and why are we a miner, and seriously, what the hell were the previous guys thinking when they filled this mine with explosives? Did anybody give them attitude about that? Like, what is going on here? What is the story? How are we who we are? What's going on? And again, like I've said before, and I think other players have also pointed out, we do not want storyline to be something that the player is forced to sit through. You don't want to have to endure like several cutscenes every time you want to start a game or anything like that. So it should be something in the background that you can look at when you want to, rather than something that you're forced to sit through. It is something that a lot of players don't like and they don't care about, and they're just here for the gameplay mechanics. But you can't just focus on that either, because then you're alienating all the players who want storyline and that kind of stuff. So yeah, I would tuck around little corners, little things that players can maybe ignore, like the chests or something, the stuff you can find that then tells a story about the company and about the other miners who are down here putting the explosives in, or something like that. Yeah, I do recommend adding that kind of stuff in, because there are people who like it, and there are people who like to play not as random, vaguely fox-shaped character, but as Foxy the miner who is mining to bring money home to his family, or something along those lines. Yeah, so really look at your storyline and turn it into a flag for players to follow, to care about. We need that kind of stuff. We need to have a flag to march behind, and I think whoever Foxy or whatever he is here might be. He's I can see the potential in this character. And that's it. That is it for the amount of information I wish to give. That is it for the amount. Well, I mean, I want to show more gameplay, but I think you guys are probably itching to go and play or watch something else. So thank you for watching me, and I'm going to carry on playing, and I hope you guys will come here and follow the link and come and play and give the devs some love. And I really hope to see you guys in the next video as well. So thank you for watching, and goodbye.